Hi everyone, good evening, welcome back. It's Tuesday, it's the 27th, and the last real dry day we'll have for a few. We're going to talk about the additional, on top of all the moisture we've already seen, the rain, the big snow, the melt, but another 1 to 2 inches of total rainfall before the end of the work week by Friday. Yep, not good news on that front. We've had enough for now, but we indeed have it in the forecast, and we'll indeed have an update for you in just a few moments. A whole lot of other things going on tonight as well. Brief update on Eric C. Kahn and a special that will air in his honor, so to speak, on next Monday. Also a deadline in regards to candidates, as well as a couple of meetings we want to talk about. One in regards to a public meeting here at an elementary school next week. We'll tell you what that has to deal with. We'll also talk about what I think has been a long-awaited change that looks to be close to happening in regards to the deer population and efforts to change laws that will affect the number of the animals out there, which may affect the number of the animals hit by vehicles and the injuries sustained. We'll also take you to the scene of the Lawrence County Fiscal Court meeting early this morning, where they voted on the needle exchange program. We'll have all that information. We'll have more on what is now a triple homicide, a triple murder investigation in Martin County, as the third victim of this shooting from days ago has now passed away. We've got an update for you there, and a whole lot of other news and information. Weather-wise, nothing more to add at this moment, except to say it's going to be a wet one for a few days. Moving on, though, while Eric C. Kahn is asking for at least a portion of the case against him to be dismissed, per his attorney filing a motion this week to have part of his case thrown out, part of the original 18-count indictment, which was, of course, put back in order after he was taken into custody in December, found on the run in Honduras. Kahn is claiming that that would be basically double jeopardy in his case. His attorney saying that the government cannot bring back that original indictment because he already accepted the plea, even though, of course, he wasn't there for his sentencing. Nevertheless, also on the subject of Eric C. Kahn, CNBC's talk show, their crime show, I should say, American Greed, will focus on Eric C. Kahn. That is set to air this coming Monday. I don't have the time, but this Monday, April the 2nd, on CNBC. They've spent some time and effort into putting together his show, which falls under their title very well, American Greed, they say. We'll, of course, see how that turns out. Another deadline for candidates, this one for potential independent candidates. Your deadline to file for candidacy is coming up. Individuals seeking to run as an independent political organization or political group candidates for offices on the ballot in the November general election all must file their statement of candidacy forms no later than April the 2nd. That too, Monday of next week. 4 o'clock is the deadline. There is no fee to file a statement of candidacy. Candidates for federal offices, nonpartisan offices, and partisan city offices in the home rule class are exempt from this requirement. Potential candidates, though, should contact the Secretary of State's office for your local county clerks to obtain the necessary paperwork. Independent political, organizational, and political group candidates for offices of state senators in even-numbered districts and state representatives must file petitions of nomination no later than August the 14th. A meeting has been called. This is all I know at this time. We'll try to find out more, certainly cover the meeting for you as well, but I was contacted today by Denise Thomas of the Big Sandy Ad Board, and they have called a public meeting here in Magoffin County set for next Wednesday. The meeting time, 6 o'clock. The meeting place, South Magoffin Elementary. The meeting subject, they'll be presenting information on the Royalton Trail Town Development Project, of course, which received right at $2 million months ago in regards to developing that area, in regards to attracting tourism, developing tourism. And that public meeting, once again, has been set for next Wednesday at 6. I'll put it on the calendar and remind you of such, and I'll be right back with our other headlines after these words.
Foothills Communications brings you the latest in fast fiber internet for home, business, or gaming. HD digital TV with DVR, pay-per-view, and all the favorite channels you're looking for, plus crystal clear communications. Customize your experience today and become a Platinum customer simply by signing up for FiberNet Phone and TV. and save at least $10 off your monthly bill. The world awaits at Foothills Communications and foothills.net.
House Bill 185, the death benefits bill, if you will, sponsored by State Representative John Blanton, is a little closer to becoming a reality. The bill, of course, which would vastly improve line-of-duty death benefits for families left behind by policemen, firefighters, and the like. It's closer to being official and a law after the Kentucky Senate State and Local Government Committee passed the bill unanimously earlier this morning. This, of course, comes after the House passed it unanimously just last week. And as I told you on a couple of occasions, what it would do would be to change the current law, which basically says that spouses right now receive 25% of the officer's salary or the eligible retirement benefits that he or she would be eligible for at the time of his death. Well, that number would go to 75%, and there's some other, of course, additions as well. It would increase salary benefits to 75%. That is certainly the big one, and right now, a unanimous passage. Every vote it has been through with one more to go, it appears as though. One more death. Now all three individuals who were involved in that shooting, which police are still investigating in Martin County, in a popular ATV sightseeing spot, if you will, four-wheeling spot. The third victim has now died, a female, a boyfriend, or the girlfriend of one of the men who were shot and pronounced dead at the scene days ago.
The Pike County Coroner's Office just earlier this morning, confirmed the death of that third victim, identified as she was days ago, 31-year-old Amber Lockhart. She passed away, a girlfriend of one of the two men who had already been identified as victims in the shooting. The shooting, which happened Friday afternoon, or was discovered Friday afternoon. It's uncertain how long the bodies and the victim then had been there. They do not believe they were there very long, but just off of Route 292 in Martin County, 20-year-old Micah Sammons was already confirmed dead. He was the boyfriend of Lockhart, and 26-year-old Derek James of Huddy. They're both from Pike County, were confirmed dead and pronounced dead at the scene. Lockhart was taken to the Pikeville Medical Center from the scene and survived there until earlier this morning. As for leads, suspects in the case, the latest update from the state police says that there still are no suspects in this case. They're still conducting interviews, canvassing the scene, anything and everything to try to get some sort of lead as to who is responsible for the three. Whether it's one individual or several, they're not saying if they know and not saying that they are looking for any one individual or several at this time. They're also saying that it's a possibility that the three individuals, the two deceased and now Miss Lockhart, who has passed away, may have been shot elsewhere and their bodies dumped at this particular site. They were discovered after an area resident and two young boys were going to check on some cattle in the area and stumbled upon the three bodies. As for Mrs. Lockhart, who passed away this morning, she'd been in the ICU at Pikeville Medical Center since Friday. We have learned that she'll be donating her organs as per her wishes and that of her family. And state police are asking that if anyone has any information at all regarding the shooting or who may have even been in this area around that time, regardless of how small the lead you think it might be, to contact Post 9 of the state police in Pikeville at 433-7711.
For my part, based on the number of news reports, accidents I cover annually and have for the past 19 years involving deer and motor vehicles, and coming from a person who has only ever hunted deer with the front of his car, I have long said, at least to myself and in close circles, that I believed at least the deer population needed to be, of course, reduced and thinned. Then, of course, there came the disease last year, which vastly did that to some degree, we believe. But nevertheless, the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife Commission is taking a step to do what many people have asked for, I do believe, for years. They're proposing new deer, waterfowl, and migratory bird changes. The Fish and Wildlife Commission has recommended expanding the modern gun season for deer to 16 days statewide, increasing the number of deer allowed on a statewide permit from 2 to 4, and then increasing some license and permit fees for non-residents. The proposals were among multiple recommendations to deer, waterfowl, and migratory bird seasons made by commission members in a meeting back on the 23rd, just a few days ago, that they had in Frankfort. The commission recommends hunting, fishing, and boating regulations as well for approval by the Kentucky General Assembly. Legislators must approve all recommendations before they actually become law. The changes recommended by the commission members are designed to help thin the state's deer herd in more densely populated areas while boosting numbers where deer populations are lower than desired. Changes also will boost many opportunities for hunters, they say as well. All deer-related regulations will go into effect in the 2018-2019 season, and that is, once again, contingent on the approval by legislators. We'll keep you up to date. After the Louisa City Council and the Lawrence County Board of Health previously approved a needle exchange program in Lawrence County, the Lawrence County Fiscal Court took up the matter this morning and quickly came to a unanimous decision. This morning's vote came after the Lawrence County Fiscal Court tabled this issue in their January meeting following a presentation by the local Board of Health on that time. This morning's vote came after the Lawrence County Fiscal Court tabled this issue back in January, following a presentation by the local Board of Health in support of the needle exchange program. Today's crowd was the largest that my videographer has seen in all the years that he has been covering the meeting, with a full crowd at the onset and before the meeting was over, near standing room only. The Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services says that our state leads the entire nation in the number of syringe exchange programs. But at the same time, the majority of those counties that they consider to be most vulnerable to outbreaks of disease spread by needles, hepatitis C, HIV, and the like, spread due to needle use, have not yet approved exchanges. They do say that 45 of Kentucky's 120 counties have thus far approved needle exchange programs. And in 2016, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention listed a total of 220 counties in the entire nation defined as being most at risk to outbreaks of HIV or Hep C as a result of shared needle use. Now, of those 220 counties in the entire nation, the CDC says that about a quarter, 54 themselves, are in the state of Kentucky, and that half of those have already approved needle exchanges. As for this morning's unanimous vote in regards to the program in Lawrence County, it came before, as I said, a packed house, several members of which our videographer spoke to off camera, and all of those were in opposition of the program being implemented in Lawrence County. And no one from the audience spoke for or against the measure.
Need a motion to open table needle exchange / harm reduction and bring it to a vote.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Rick Blackman.
I'll second.
Motion made by Earl, or second by Earl Boggs. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. At this time, we'll take it to a vote. All those that is in favor of the needle exchange harm reduction signify by saying aye. All that oppose the needle exchange harm reduction signifying by saying no. No. It's an unanimous vote. There will be no needle exchange harm reduction in Lawrence County at this time. Thank you. Motion carried. Okay. Number 26, public comment.
Following the meeting, in response to the vote, the director of the Lawrence County Health Department did go on record as saying that they are going to make changes to the proposal and then present it again following the elections in November. Let's see, this just in and some other announcements and reminders. The Magoffin County Fiscal Court has a special meeting set for this week. And here's everything else brought to you by tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau Community Calendar. Something else also just in that I'll put on the calendar, the Harold Whitaker Middle School Spring Dance, May the 12th. That's Saturday from 5 to 7. That's a little ways away, but you got to prepare for those things, right? So I'll put it on the calendar and remind you in the next few days. Many grants available through Kentucky's ASAP program here in Magoffin County. Call Carolyn Isaac, 349-6212. The Magoffin County Fiscal Court, as I mentioned, does meet tomorrow. This is a special session.
excess fees from the clerk's office. They'll adopt a soil conservation budget and plan of work. And they'll talk about the Bloomington Fire Department, the rural secondary program, and the proposed jail budget for 2018-2019. A special meeting tomorrow at 5. We'll have a camera there, a report to follow. The Sagersville Grade School is hosting a meet and greet with their incoming kindergarten students this Thursday from 6 to 8. A great opportunity for students and parents alike to come meet the staff, tour the school, and get a little food and refreshment as well this Thursday, 6 to 8. And the local pride coordinator is calling all volunteers to come and put a little time in. They're going to gather at the Montgomery County Courthouse this weekend, this Saturday morning at 9, weather permitting. Talk about that in a minute. And they're going to clean up and pick up garbage from down towards the lower end of town, West Maple, and up the Ivy Point Hill in preparation of the big Civil War reenactment coming soon. We'll be talking about that, I would imagine, coming soon as well. But first, it's Easter, and in honor, the Licking River Baptist Church is having Holy Week services. They started on the 25th. They go through this Friday night nightly with fellowship meals at 5:30, worship services starting at 6:30, special preaching nightly as well. Sunday service this weekend, of course, will follow the sunrise services, resurrection services Sunday morning. 7 o'clock, they'll have sunrise service at the K Center, the old elementary school, Sagre Elementary. Then Sunday morning, they'll have services at 11 at the Licking River Baptist Church, and this is your special invitation to join them for resurrection and for special services throughout the week and weekend. Also, a special invitation from our friends at the Stinson United Baptist Church. Communion and foot washing is tomorrow night at 7. Services Thursday through Saturday night at 7. Sunrise services Sunday at 7. Sunday services Easter Sunday at 11. And if you have a calendar announcement, birthday or anniversary or otherwise, this, in addition to dropping that off here at the studio, of course, which is in our new location with the Sagersville Independent, I think everyone know that by now, right in downtown Sagersville. Drop them off or mail them, email them, Facebook, phone, fax, however you want to get it in. Doesn't cost anything. We'll tell everybody about it. And turning to obituaries, a reminder of services to be held tomorrow morning at 11 in honor of 77-year-old Beatrice Howard Patrick, Ducat Howard Patrick of Lick Creek, who passed away this weekend, preceded in death by her husband Johnny Daniel Patrick. Visitation is this evening and prior to tomorrow morning services at 11, all from the Montgomery County Funeral Home. Well, wrapping it up with your Licking Valley RECC outlook, there's a whole lot of moisture, just not any of it in our area. Mostly cloudy skies is what we'll see. After 2 or 3, a big band of moisture to our north and west may seep down into eastern Kentucky to the tune of about a 30% chance of showers after 2. Mostly cloudy skies continuing, and a low of 51 degrees tonight. Yes, I said a low of 51, and get used to that. It's not going to be hard to do as far as the temperatures. But showers are coming mainly after 8 tomorrow. They'll increase. We'll see upper 60s for the next couple of days. And for the next couple of days, clouds, showers, winds definitely as well, especially into your Thursday, with winds out of the southwest increasing 5 to 9 tomorrow, but 6 to 17 Thursday. Total rainfall amounts anywhere from a half an inch to 1.5 inches tomorrow. We might add a little bit on top of that Thursday, maybe another half of an inch or so. So anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, I think, is a good generality for everyone in the viewing area. Some maybe a little bit more in some isolated areas, and some certainly less. But I think definitely another inch, certainly, of rainfall the next couple of days, as if we need another inch of rainfall. Friday, some more showers. They'll start to wind down by late Friday afternoon, 55 and 35. Frost waking us up Saturday morning with some sunshine, and right around 62 degrees. Another round of showers, sad to say, rolls in Saturday night and into your Easter holiday. Right now, Easter Sunday looks to be a bit cooler comparatively to Saturday in the next 2 days, 56 and 37, and I think right now a 40% chance of showers on your Sunday, so not a washout Easter Sunday, but an umbrella might be something that you'll want to stick in that Easter basket.
That's going to do it for this Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be talking to you about other headlines and what's coming up in this week's edition of the Sagersville Independent. Good night, and thanks for being here.